Hello and welcome to Byte Basics. I'm Earl Yeager. On Byte Basics, we plan to cover all of those topics that are technology things that people often assume is common knowledge, whether or not that really is the case. Today we're going to be looking at web browsers, specifically Firefox. So we'll be looking at the Firefox web browser. There's several different things that we want to take a look at, so if you'll go ahead and look with me over here at my machine. Here's Firefox. There's several different elements here that to look at. The first thing I want to point out is on Firefox here at the top, we have this bar here where we have our addresses. This is the address bar, and in this bar is where we type in the web address of whatever website we're going to. Now over here we have another bar, another little box. This is our search box. This is where we type anything that we're searching for as opposed to those things that we already know the address for. So if I know what the address is for, say, my EPISD, I would click here. I would type in my.episd.org and either click go or click on the arrow, and it would take me directly to the My EPISD site. As it's working on pulling up the site, you'll see the little circle that moves there to show you that it's doing progress, that it's working. If I instead wanted to search for all of EPISD's websites, I would not type the search here, I would type it over here. And I would hit enter. Now when I'm typing in a search, notice I find exactly all of the different search terms. I don't actually go to the specific website. It searched Google and it provided me all of the different pages, including the location and everything for EPISD. If I instead had typed in www.episd.org over here, it would not have gone to the website. It would have performed a very similar search to this one, searching for that website. So if you want to go directly to the website, you type the URL here, directly here, for the website itself, www.episd.org, and it goes directly to the website instead of searching for it. So those are the two bars. Address bar, we type addresses here. Search bar, if we're not certain of the address, we can perform searches here. Okay? The next thing to look at is what are called toolbars. You'll notice here I have what's called a bookmark bar. This bookmark bar is one of the many different possible toolbars that Firefox has. When I go up here to this blue, darker blue area and I right click, when I click with the other mouse button, there are several different bars that are available. There's a menu bar, a navigation bar, and a bookmarks bar. The bookmarks bar is the one that's right here. The menu bar will convert from having this little button here that says Firefox, and when I click I have all of my options underneath it. If I instead right click and choose menu bar, I will now have File, Edit, View, History, the older style of menu bar. So depending upon your preference, you can switch Firefox to either have the menu bar or you can use just the Firefox button, where everything is located underneath the Firefox button. So either way is you can access the same information. It has the same options available. But if you're not seeing it the way you would expect, you can always right-click and choose the option you prefer. So I can find those same different things here in the other layout. Okay? So one other thing I want to point out is if we go under Firefox, we can find the Help option. And underneath Help, there's an option that says About Firefox. And when we click on About Firefox, that's going to tell us what version of Firefox we're using. There are several different versions of all of the different web browsers out there, and you may or may not be seeing everything exactly the way I'm looking at it. And to ensure that you're on the same version I am, we're going to go ahead and look here where it says About Firefox in order to see what version this is. So when I pull this up, you'll notice that it says Firefox is on version 23.0.1. And it also tells me that Firefox is up to date. So if it wasn't, I could click here to go ahead and get the latest update. But this means I'm currently on the latest version, which is 23.0.1 right now. So if you want to update Firefox, you can always do that. But you'll notice that it lets you know which version you're currently running right here. Okay? So other things that we want to take a look at and see how they are handled here are things like our bookmarks. So Firefox has a whole area for storing our bookmarks on our web page. So underneath the Firefox button, we can go to Bookmarks, and we can see anything that we've bookmarked. And I can bookmark the page I'm currently on from here as well. If I want to manage my bookmarks and control my bookmarks, I'd first select Show All Bookmarks. And now I have this little window pops up that says Library, and this enables me to control my bookmarks. Here on the left-hand side, it has all of my organization for my bookmarks. I have this box here that says All Bookmarks. That's going to be every bookmark I have on the machine. The Bookmarks toolbar is, again, this quick bar right here across the top to go directly to websites. Any website that I want to make it easy for me to find a link to, I would put within this Bookmarks toolbar. So when I click on Bookmarks toolbar, you'll see I have these different websites, which are the same as these here. So if I wanted to have Getting Started on here, I would leave it there. If I wanted to remove it, I could select it and then press the delete key on the keyboard to delete it. So if I wanted it deleted, I could backspace or right click and choose the delete option and delete it. Okay. The Bookmarks menu is what you see when you go to Firefox and go to Bookmarks. This is the Bookmarks menu. So if you want to be able to control what's on the Bookmarks menu, you can look at the list here and it will show you those items that are on the Bookmarks menu. And I can rearrange them, I can drag them into different orders, I can create folders to organize them, I can right click and create a new folder. If I want to put folders, I can put separators to break them into groups. So you can do a lot of things to organize the bookmarks you have on your web page to help you keep track of those things. So if you have lots and lots of them, you may want to consider putting them in folders to group them by like types. If you have just a handful but you want to kind of group them together, you can use the separators to put them like different kinds of things together. Or if you just have a handful, you can just stick them in here and not worry too much about it. But you do have the ability to organize and manage all of the bookmarks you have on Firefox. Okay, the next thing to look at here is as we look across the top, we have what are called tabs. So this area right here says Welcome to EPISD. This is going to be the tab that we're on. This is the default tab. If I hit the little plus next to it, I open another tab. I can switch between them by clicking back and forth. So you can switch between which tabs you have on your browser by switching back and forth. I can put a new website on this one. I'll put the My EPISD page here. And I can very quickly switch between the EPISD homepage and the My EPISD page just by clicking back and forth. Okay? You can click and close one tab by clicking the little X on that tab as opposed to closing the whole web browser here. So if I want to get rid of the tab, I can get rid of the tab. Okay? Other things like your home page. Often when you open up a web browser, it goes to a specific home page. Now, if it goes to the page you want it to go to, everything is great. But sometimes you'll find that it's not going to the page you expected it to go to, or the page that is the home page is not the one you would prefer. So how do you change that? Where do you find that? Well, in Firefox, we'll go ahead and go here where it says Firefox, and then we'll go to Options. And underneath Options, there is an Options menu option. So I'll go ahead and choose that. And then on the Options pop-up window, we're going to go to the General button. On the General button, you'll notice that it says, when Firefox starts, show my home page. And then right below that, it says Home Page and tells you what the home page is. If this is the page you want it to be, you can just leave that as is. If it's not, you can switch it out. So if instead I wanted Google as for instance, I could go ahead and swap this out, get rid of this, and type in google.com. Notice I don't have to worry about getting everything, the http:// any of those things. I can just type in google.com. I'll click OK. And then when I close Firefox, go ahead and make sure that Firefox is closed. When I reopen it, you'll notice that this time when Firefox opens up, the website it's going to go to is not going to be my EPISD page anymore. It will now be the Google homepage when we see Firefox finally open. And so now it's loading up. And here in a moment, as the progress goes, you'll see it says Google, and we're now on the Google homepage. So again, to change your homepage, it's under Firefox, under Options, under Options, and you set your home page here. I'm going to go ahead and change mine back to the EPISD home page. Okay. Other things here are the Downloads option. When you download files on Firefox, they often go to a folder, and that folder is something that's determined by this Download section on the window. So when you download files, if you're not certain where they're going and you're not certain how to get them to go where you want them, that's all controlled right here. So when we're looking here in this Downloads area, it says Save Files To, and right now it says Desktop. If I wanted to change where it goes, I would hit Browse, and I could choose wherever I want it to go. Often you'll find that it automatically goes to the Downloads folder, and if that's something you're happy with, that's absolutely great. But if not, you'd rather have it go to the desktop, then that's where you'd select Desktop and click Select Folder. You also have the option to change it to say, always ask me where to save files. So that means anytime it goes to download, it will say, where do you want to save this, each and every time. That way, one time I save, I might save to the desktop. The next time I save, I might save to my Documents folder. The very next time might be somewhere else. So you can save each and every item that you click on to a different location very easily by doing that. So the option here where it says always ask me where to save files relates to having it let you pick each and every time. Okay. Other things to consider when looking at Firefox that might be useful for you are things like your history. So when we're looking at Firefox, let me go ahead and get out of there. I have the history here, and the history is all of the web pages that I've ever gone to. And within history, you'll notice that there's a button here that says Clear Recent History. When I choose that, it asks me what time range and what items do I want cleared. So I can choose to clear it from the last hour, from the day, or absolutely everything here. And sometimes if you find that websites are coming up that look old, they're not the current page, that someone has told you there's an update and you're not seeing the update, or something hasn't changed that should have changed, you may need to do what's called clearing the cache, because web pages get kind of preserved to help speed up their loading, and they cache them. So if you want to clear out those temporary files, the cache files, you'll go here to the history area, and here where it says the time range, you can go ahead and choose everything, and on that, once everything has been selected, you'll select from the list of checkboxes here. So my time range is everything, and from the list of checkboxes here, I can tell it what things I want cleared. So browsing and download history, this is going to be a history of everything, all the actions I've taken. Form and search history, that's going to be anytime you've typed out or filled in forms, it tries to remember what things you filled in so that it can help you do it again next time. Cookies are different settings that you have for specific websites. So if on a specific website you've set your user permission level, or you've set different information to be defaults, it remembers that through use of cookies. So if you clear cookies, it's going to get rid of all of that information. So often those cookies can sometimes contain other things that aren't useful, so you may want to clear them on a periodic basis. So that's going to be the cookies. Then the next item in the list here is the cache. The cache is what I was referring to as the backup copies of web pages so that they'll load quickly, so the cache can be cleared. Active logins has things like your password history and things like that in it. So any of this stuff can be cleared out. It has offline website data as well as site preferences. All of that can be cleared if you wish to do so. So you set the time range, you check the items you want cleared, and then you click on Clear Now. And that gets rid of all of that information on the particular page. Okay. Another thing to look at is sometimes you want to have a shortcut on your web page. So, and what I mean by that is sometimes you might have on your desktop a button that goes directly to a specific website, so that when you double click it, it goes right to a specific page. If you'd like to be able to do that in Firefox, the way you would do that is you first go to the website you want to have bookmarked. In this case, I'm going to go to the EPISD web page. And if I want to make a quick link on my desktop to the EPISD website, what I'll do is over here on this other side, right here in the middle, this button here says Restore Down. And that Restore Down button, what it does is it changes my window from being maximized, being full screen, to when I hit this button, it's now going to be a part of the screen. So now it's not as big as the whole window is. So I can move it around very easily now. So when it's maximized here, it's locked in, and when I restore down, I can move it. You can also resize the window if you need to, so I can resize it a bit here. But with it restored down this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for this little part. So I have my address here where I've typed in www.episd.org. Right here, you'll notice where this globe is, I can click on that, and I can pull that globe off of the page and put it directly onto my desktop. And it creates a link that says, welcome to my EPISD. So that allows me to quickly make links to specific web pages such that they can be double-clicked and opened. So if you want to be able to make quick links for your students, make resources that you use on a regular basis easy to open directly to, you can drag those off and put them on there. And that makes it very easy for kids to just double-click on that and go directly to that specific website. Please follow the EPISD TV Studio on Facebook and or on YouTube. They're also available on Twitter at EPISD TV Studio. So please follow us and keep watching.